recovering from that $20 level. We have predicted the upside now pressing towards that $25 price target. It does appear there could be a lot more upside as the volatility has peaked up throughout a breakout level. Are we going to see the bull sustain this very nice upward activity, or the bear is going to step in to push stock price lower? My name is Dylan from Dylan's Trades. We're going to break down and analyze this technical analysis equation. As always, first going to the weekly analysis to get a very long-term perspective within stock price, and then we'll analyze the short and the medium term to get a very comprehensive price prediction, price target, and much more. So straight away, guys, beautiful movement from our last updated video. We mentioned within our last video, we've seen this incredible ascending trend line within a beautiful base for the buyers, sitting on this very incredible level for week after week after week. We're looking at the weekly candles. Each one of these candles are 1 week. This is a 20-week defended ascending trend line. Almost impossible to break from a seller perspective. So to see that $40 pullback to 20 with this strong candle, now starting to flip indecision, flip over the top. It does appear this momentum will continue to occur. At this lower level, pulling back to such a major measurement at this ascending trend line, you're going to want to see strength. You're going to want to see buyers step right back up. As if that happens quick, that's going to set off a lot of stop losses from the short selling opportunities, which the bears did take to push right back towards that FOMO activity over that $40 high. And this is a very phenomenal activity. We did set a $25 price target for about a 1 week movement here, and we are above that. Okay, 27. As of right now, we're going to flip the next target towards that $31 level. You might see a little bit of pause around $30, and this might even take maybe 2 weeks perhaps. But with this momentum here, this is the momentum to flip within that very bullish trajectory. A very similar candlestick pattern to the Morningstar reversal. A very strong pullback starts to flip indecisive, now flipping over to the top. This is typically the instance where you can see continued volatility. So all the candlestick structures do point to upside here, pulling back to such a big measurement. We have seen a very big bounce here over the course of the last week, to be exact, about 40%, 40, 30% or what have you from the start of the week. But I do think that will continue to initiate, very strong stock here from APLD. We've continued to, compare these very top movers that made big 1,000% movements, 2,000% movements to APLD from these $9 levels. We continue to update the channel. Okay, so we've been very spot on the ball here with APLD. Not going to toot our own horn here, but do feel we have a very good read. And this is such a beautiful technical signal here. We're going to continue to hold our bullish bias until at least, pressing back towards this 30-ish dollar levels, towards those mid 30s, and start to show some rejection up here. There really is not too much stopping it for some medium term nice movement. And even if you get to that level and start to reject, you're likely going to base out for a bigger movement within some sort of a squeeze. So that's another story. We'll get to that if that does happen, when it does happen, most likely. But as of right now, we're going to set that $31 price target. So expect that to be hit within about 1 to 2 weeks. We'll continue to cover that live. So with all this being noted, we're not going to flip to the next step in the analysis today. This is the daily, and very good for the medium term. Looking at the daily analysis, we're clearly seeing a couple big things. Okay, and this does point right back towards that $31 level. Notice stock price did set that gap right at this level. Ooh, gap down, and then that did sustain a lot of momentum for defending $20. Felt, for a week straight, building accumulation. Now we're snapping over that with the upward trajectory. Okay, stocks typically move within this fashion, guys. You're going to see pauses, upside, right? Pauses, it's again pausing, building energy. The buyers, sellers are battling. The sellers win, they crack the base. Okay, then downside, upside, and what are we going? Boom, upside. We're only right here, guys. So there's a lot more momentum, perhaps all the way towards the top. I mean, we could take this draw in here, guys, and look at this, splat on the money. These are accumulation and buying, selling, psychology, and energy building momentum. So to see one strong candle bounce and break right over that $25 level, I mean, this is just such a beautiful, miraculous candle here to see, to at least push back towards that gap fill at $31. So very strong analysis here. Continue to have a very bullish bias, and I do think APLD is very prone to holding itself up well as well. Okay, if we do see any pullbacks, you're looking at $25, of course, or these big 25, 30, $35, $40 level. You're typically going to be very big with these high flyers, hence why we pulled back at $40 splat on the ball. So with that being said, the trend has initiated and flipped. Should be expecting this action to occur. Even if you see a little bit of a pause, market maybe dulls out, a little bit of a dull action, that's okay. I really do think we're in such a beautiful uptrend here. Quickly flipping, newly found, going to give more momentum. And with that being said, we're now looking at the daily analysis on IWM. This is good for the, your APLDs and what have you. And as of right now, it looks good, guys. Looks good. Simple as that. We're not going to spend too long on this. You could see a little bit of chop within the market, and that could slow APLD down. But if that does happen, no big pullbacks are going to happen, guys. This would be a 1 out of 10 freakish outlier probability. Getting this violent liquidity sweep below this, now pressing up. This is typically the more long-term structure and base and movement and psychology for another strong couple of months to go within the overall market here. So the overall market looks incredible for APLD here. Perhaps a little bit of a cool off for the next few days. It might make APLD consolidate, but outside of potentially a short-term pause within 1 or 2 days, it does appear this $31 is very imminent. And the daily looks incredible. Okay, very good market environment here. With that being said, we're now going to flip to the last step within the analysis today. This is a ridiculously strong looking chart, guys. I mean, this is really everything you want to see. Okay, so we've seen that pop and breakout over this pennant structure to start the day over $25. We see the upside, and then you start to pull back actually towards the end of the day, immediately defending that. And after this base, now we're ready to get that next movement higher. So this shows you that, hey, we're probably getting to $30 within a few days, 2 days, 3 days. And that does appear that way. I mean, very strong chart here. I'll be absolutely shocked if we get the pullback to $25. If you are looking for an entry point, and you're looking for a dip, definitely look for that $25 level. That would be a very strong classic break and retest. But the way this, liquidity movement candlesticks are showing, I definitely do think that upside quick is a lot more likely than marinating here and just consolidating and basing and then going 2-3 days later right after you base. If this does happen, we're likely to see a lot of the top movers cool off and traders take a few days off from the market. The seller's not able to quite push lower, maybe a little bit of downside, nothing serious though at all, perhaps moving $1 lower, then ultimately getting that squeeze. So that is the prediction here on the channel. We are going to lean to the quick upside come Monday, Tuesday, these next trading days. Very quick move it to $31, likely hitting within Thursday. But we'll continue to track and analyze this as it plays out live. Called the low within the last updated video at $20, and it does appear that there's a lot more room to go. APLDs are very interesting, and top mover will continue to follow and track on the channel about 1 to 2 times per week. Have a good one, guys. Take care, trade smart, and